All right. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting Photoshop all set up. Okay.
So you got
And I've
the
pulled up a picture.
zoomies yesterday, and he was ripping through the house and just leapt right over Finn. And poor Finn just sat there.
It's always exciting when your old cat gets the
Oh, love
zoomies
it.
because you feel like,
Yeah. I'm like, good boy. Good boy.
you did it. You're still alive in there. The zest of life has not yet left you.
He's like
All right,
15 or
let's do
16,
this.
so watching him rocket through the house feels real good,
Yeah.
Most of the time he
Like,
just sleeps.
be careful of your bones, old man. All right, let's make a bug. Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome to Bugs Need Heroes, the podcast about insect superpowers. Each episode, an artist and an entomologist team up to illustrate the inspiring abilities of insects by creating bug-themed superheroes. I'm Amanda.
I'm Kelly.
Producer Derek and Desi and Rotunda are here today. Before we get started with this bug-inspired hero, what's bugging you, Kelly?
Oh, nothing, I guess. Nothing. It's starting to get cool, and I'm very happy because I run very warm. I'm always kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to hoodies and
Sweater weather.
jeans. Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
want.
yeah. You guys live in the part of the world where you don't wear jeans over the summer.
No.
Too hot.
Way too hot to wear jeans here. Yesterday we went to a party at my buddy's house where we call it Apple Fest, and every year we eat apple themed desserts. The kids go apple bobbing. We have cider, and
Whoever bites into
also
an apple and finds a wasp is the winner.
yes, that's how we like to do it. Uh, and we also like combine it with an Oktoberfest, so we eat a ton of different kinds of sausage and drink Marzens and Oktoberfest beer. So it was lovely. And also, my husband's birthday was yesterday. He's 46 years young right now.
Wow, that can't be possible. But I'm friends with people who are like
Yeah.
in their 40s. Ugh.
I
Because that
think
means I'm close.
yeah, I think he looks maybe 40. Like I don't get it. I don't.
He's keeping it young. He's keeping it fresh.
He looks good. He's keeping it fresh. What's bugging you, Amanda?
Oh, this is such a trite complaint. Life is as life does. Our neighbor is moving away, and they have their oldest is the same age as my youngest, and they are good little friends. And
Aw.
it's like the first sojourn into heartbreak of like, oh, the tides of life are carrying this person I like away from me. And I don't think it's sunk in to either one of them yet that like the neighbor moving house means that they will not be able to hang out anymore. And
Have you had
it's
to
just, I don't know.
explain this? Because she's so little.
Multiple times. She's so little. She's so little. And I've tried to explain it multiple times, but I just know for the next 6 months we're gonna walk by and she's gonna be like, "Oh, can I go play?" And I'm gonna be like, "No,
Those are strangers now.
we don't know them anymore," you know. So we'll see.
Aw.
But we helped them yesterday. I took my youngest's friend hung out with us so that her parents could fill up the U-Haul. The U-Haul had a butterfly on the side of it though, so that was nice.
Nice.
I don't know how accurate those facts on the side of a U-Haul are, but I always read them.
Do you just notice bug things now all the time?
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't help
it's
it.
weird. It's for like a person who's not like into bugs. I'm like into bugs now. Does that make sense? Because I've
It's
been on this
great.
podcast long enough that it's like become a special interest of mine. Simply by like rewriting my brain chemistry to be like thing I like,
Bugs.
thing I like, bugs, which I'm sure my bug hating husband just loves.
We've gotten some nice listener emails that are along the same lines. Like before
Oh,
listening
good.
to the show, they hadn't really paid attention to bugs at all, and now they actively will
That
watch them.
confirmation
And
bias. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like when you learn a new word and all of a sudden you're hearing that word everywhere. You're like, how long have people been saying circumnavigate? And all of a sudden I know what circumnavigate means.
I bought a Subaru Crosstrek, and now all I see are Subaru Crosstreks on the road.
Yeah. Whenever we see my make and model of car, me and the kids go, "Where am I going?" Every time we see it go by, like, "Where am I going?" Oftentimes we're in the car that we're going,
Yeah.
because I'm the
No,
one who
I do
trucks
a
the kids
similar
around.
thing. I'm like, oh, there goes
Yeah,
my
where am
doppelganger.
I going?
What are they
Or
up
if we
to?
see the same car but in a different color, we'll be like, oh, that's the evil version of us. Look, or oh, that's the ghost of our car. If it's like a white car, we're like, that's the ghost of the car we're in. Yeah. There you go. So something that might be bugging people. I don't know if it's bugging people right now though. I don't know if it's just bugs in your house. Bugs in your house bothers people.
I get
Speaking
it.
of people being bugged. So we have a bug today that
Very much
bothers
indoor
people
bug.
when it gets in your house. It's in fact named for being in your house, the house centipede.
Mm-hmm. Do you have house
Uh,
centipedes in your house, Amanda?
I don't know. I don't think so. It just doesn't look like something I'd see in my house a lot. I've
Huh.
looked at the pictures of them. We get the big old spiders, like the house spiders, not
Oh
the
yeah.
house centipede.
Yeah, those big guys.
Those biggins that come running at you at 1,000 miles per hour. Shout outs to Laura who sent us an
Yes,
email
listener
about
Laura,
these
thank you for
guys.
the email and the recommendation. We'll have a bunch of listener bugs coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Coming down the bug line.
Laura needs to know about what the deal with these guys is because they're in her house.
I know. I think office too.
Oh yeah. Well, they're inside. They're in places. That's the rule at our house. I don't know if this is the rule at your house. If the bug is inside our house, we can move it or dispatch it, we'll say.
Dispose.
If it's in our house, because that's our territory.
Yeah,
But if
it's
it's
your home.
outside, you have to leave it alone. So,
Yeah, if it's inside, I probably will remove it and just put it
yeah,
outside. If it
you'll just
is
chuck it off your balcony to fall
it's right off the edge. I'll probably put it in like
hundreds of feet to the ground.
it's fine. They can usually fly. Uh, I'll usually put them on
Historically, they
whatever
can.
plants on the balcony. We always have plants on the
Mm.
balcony. If it's a mosquito and it's in my house, I will smush it because I've woken up in the middle, like the next morning, and had mosquito bites like, on me
And
from
you're
being inside.
allergic, right?
To one species, I get
Oh,
pretty big bumps. Um, if it's a spider, sometimes we just leave spiders. Depends. If it's like a big web, then it's gotta go, but not,
yeah.
you know.
If it's in the tub, it's got to go for our house. But if
Mm.
it's just kind of around, sometimes I'll just be like, I didn't see nothing.
Well,
You didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing.
we have a cellar spider that lives in my like at the very top of my shower, like in the corner of the ceiling, and I'm
Ah,
like, you're fine. You don't go anywhere. It disappears and then comes back and then disappears again. There's a
you and I
vent.
could form
Yeah, I'm like, this
a
is all right.
relationship. You could pay rent.
I leave all of these guys alone.
Everything.
Really?
Everything.
You just leave
Mm.
it. If the
Yeah.
cats get it, that's their business.
We have some small spiders, and I do remove them because I don't want them to bite the cats.
Oh, I
That's
let the cats bite them. They're
yeah.
cat toys at that point. One of ours, Desdemona, has taken out yellow jackets before, so we're pretty confident in their ability
yeah.
to fend for themselves regarding little guys.
Oh yeah,
But that
yeah.
is
I
interesting
watched
that it's
Finn slap a yellow jacket out of the sky once I got into our yard, and I was like, wow, you're for one eye, he's like real
His
good.
depth perception's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
I watched my cat hunt her own tail this morning, so that's how she's doing.
No, yeah, I remove them. I don't really need them to be in the house, you know. Although now that it's fall, we are getting lacewings in the house, and I just kind of like let them hang out on the wall because they leave. They'll leave eventually anyway.
They'll vamoose on their own.
But house centipedes, you find them in the damp parts of your house, like your basement or your
Okay.
bathroom. I'm surprised you don't have any. You have a basement, don't you? You have a
I
basement or an
do, but
attic?
I have a basement, which is unusual for my part of the world because it's wet down
Yeah.
there. The soil is wet. The upper is wet. It's wet. It's Portland. It's well. It's wet. It's wet. It's wet.
And you haven't seen any house centipedes?
I haven't. I really can't think of ever seeing one.
I'll chime in and say I have many.
Yeah. You must. Yeah, they're common everywhere.
They just must be hiding. I just must be loud enough when I'm coming down the stairs going, is anyone down here? I'm holding a lamp also, like a kerosene
Like an
lamp. And I go,
old-timey-
hello?
And they just
Is
scatter.
anyone down here? And they just must stay enough in the corners, underneath my boxes, behind all my things, that I don't see them. Because I'm sure they are down there. If
They
if
must be. Yeah, they
if
must
producer
be.
Derek's got them, there's no way I don't. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I don't have any in my apartment. I know some people have. Our building has like a WhatsApp group, and they've definitely shared photos every once in a while. But growing up down the shore in like a house and not an apartment, we had house centipedes in the garage and occasionally in the bathroom. But so you've never have you seen one before, Amanda? Do you know what we're talking about?
I do know what we're talking about. They look like a discarded false eyelash. Like if I saw one on the ground, I might think someone has lost their extensions, their eyelash extensions here.
They're
Uh
very long-legged for a
they
centipede.
and many legs for a centipede. With a centipede, I think long skinny body and even legs going all the way down the segments of the body. But this one is not like that. It's more like if a caterpillar uh like made a wish to a genie to have legs, and the genie was like, okay, you did not specify enough, so here's some huge random legs. And like they're shorter in the front, not short by any means, but they're shorter in the front, and then hugely long in the back, which seems strange to me. And the ones in the back are like a little bit thicker and stripier.
Yeah, they're kind of stripy. So house centipedes are light in color. They're like I think it was on a Pennsylvania ex like exterminate not extermination extension center website said they were dirty yellow, which is so rude.
That's now, come on, words have power. You can't just be calling them dirty. That's rude.
Dirty
um
yellow. I felt so bad for them.
I mean, it's that kind of that orangey yellow translucent
Mhm.
color that a lot of bugs have, where like there feels like their exoskeleton doesn't have a lot of pigment in it, and
Yeah,
so they
they're
just
kind
kind
of
of
like
have that
light.
hemolymphy yellow color. Yeah.
Well, they do tend to live
Hmm.
in the dark, so you don't need a
Yes.
lot of color when you're
When
like
you're in the
you know
dark,
like
yeah,
cave animals tend to be light in
yeah,
color.
they lose their eyes and they basically lose all melanin because they're like, there's no point to this.
Yeah.
There's no point to this pigment in my. No one's seeing me anyway. I might as well stay. I might as well be a salamander with no eyes and no pigment and just be down here like a ghost.
Yeah, there are a few. So a couple of our listeners wrote in and said that they call them fast eyebrows, which I loved.
So I would eyelash. They're going, no, these are eyebrows
Eyebrows.
and they're on the move.
And another listener said they call them freaky legs, which I get. When you watch them
Freaky legs
run
make sense.
with that many legs, it is a little bit
This makes me think when
weird.
I was very young, my younger sister called everything creepy crawly gilly gillies, specifically like caterpillars and
Oh,
butterflies. But if this bug was called a gilly gilly, I'd get it. I'd be
you
like,
would
yeah,
see it.
that's a gilly gilly right there. Gilly 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 gilly
You
gilly.
would say, of course, of
I'd say,
course.
yes. I see how you've come to this conclusion.
So I
Yes, they're very interesting to me.
So this is the first group that we're covering that are called subphylum Myriapods. Those are our centipedes and our millipedes. So if you remember, that's not an insect and it's not an arachnid. If we think about leg count, um,
Way too many legs.
too
Disqualified.
many legs. Although I love it, their order, Amanda, is called Scooty. Scooty.
Gosh, Scooty. I love Scooty. Oh my gosh, that's definitely the name of this hero this week is Scooty.
Scooty, the genus for the house centipede is Scootigera. I just love Scooty, and they are
Is
very much a Scooty bug.
is there like a rule about how many legs they can have? Because like a millipede has a different number of legs than like our house centipede here. I
So house
assume it.
centipedes can have up to 15 pairs, so 30
Right. Okay,
leggies.
and it always comes in pairs, obviously, because that's
Yes.
how it's set up.
Although I will
Um,
tell you my favorite fact about these guys, when they hatch out of their eggs, they only have 4 legs to start. Can you picture
less
it?
than a bug, but and I assume they get legs at like an instar. That at some point they
Yeah, as they
molt.
molt, they get so like
They'll
first emergence they have sorry, it's 4 pairs of legs.
four pairs. Okay,
But
so starting
it's
spider
still
level.
like really goofy to think about. And then they have 5 pairs, 7 pairs, 9, 11,
Right.
13. And then the last 3 molts they have 15 pairs of legs every time. But I just love like that they come out with way less legs than they're gonna end up with.
It's so funny. Is that like that's got to be some sort of energy saver when you're in the egg? Then it
It
take
takes
too
time to
much
make all those
time.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta eat.
You right. You got to eat to make more legs.
But I think I would laugh if I saw an eight-legged
Just
centipede and be
just
like, what is
a little
happening?
baby centipede.
Just a
So
little
why
guy.
do they have so many legs?
It
What's the strategy?
well, it works, right? It works that they're fast. They can climb. All those legs let them climb things.
Oh
Um,
yeah, guys, I hadn't thought about having multiple legs so you have multiple ways to boost yourself up something.
they
And when you're
good grip.
at bug size, we've talked about bug size before, like how different the world must be of bug size.
Yeah.
Like the slight texture on our walls to us at human size doesn't feel like much texture. But when you're a little guy, those are all like the
They're all
world must look like
handholds.
a climbing gym all the
Yeah.
time to these guys.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Amanda. It's really important to think about them at the size of the world that they're living in, not us. And like we tend to be we call that anthropocentrism, when we kind of center ourselves as
Yeah.
humans when looking at things. And it really does kind of shorten our ability to see and to understand other life forms. So yeah, all those little leggies are excellent for climbing and catching. So these are hunters. So you want to be able to catch stuff. Extra front limbs are great for holding stuff down.
Okay, so I assume the big long ones in the back. They're for speed. They're for pushing off. They're
Hmm.
for getting out of
Probably
here.
for grip
And
too, I'd say.
and then the little yeah, that makes sense. And then the little ones in front are more for like the grabbiness.
But you'll notice that the antennae are really, really long, and we have some pretty
Super
good
long.
got some good photos from a friend of the pod. All bugs go to Kevin, and we'll put some of his photos up on socials when the episode comes out. But you'll notice that the antennae in the front are really, really long, but also those legs in the back are really long. And it's so predators can't tell if they're looking at the front or the back of the animal.
Okay, like is that some sort of Gia monster does that too? Where they're in the desert and they've got like a little stump tail that's the same shape as their head.
Oh, really? Maybe. I haven't that's fun. Well, I mean, think about the many caterpillars we've covered that look like snake faces on their butts,
Yes.
right?
Mm. So the advantage being that if it bites my booty instead of my front, that I have the chance to get away,
Well, a predator doesn't
or
want to attack you from the front,
they just don't
right?
know which way
It's
I'm gonna go
dangerous. Yeah,
next.
so
Ha 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 ha.
they might not want to go for it if they can't tell. It's much better to try to grab something from the side or from the back end. And what's kind of neat is the antennae, if they are like twice as long as the body, because they get real long, then you're looking at a lady. And if they're a little shorter, they're a male. So we have some sexual
Mm.
dimorphism there with the antenna length.
Sorry, I'm distracted by Desi getting
I'm
on
watching
there.
Desi up on the chair. Yeah, me too.
She's so little.
She's cute.
So how
Um,
fast do they go? How fast do I need to get out of the area when this centipede starts going?
they can move about a foot a second.
Oh, that's pretty fast. That's pretty gosh darn fast when I'm little.
Yeah, for being so tiny. Yeah, that's super fast. So that's like a 0.3 meters per second for the rest of the world there. But yeah, for us it's about a foot. Very quick. So all right, let's talk a little bit about centipedes in general. I know that most folks, and I would advise not to pick up centipedes. Centipedes can be a little bit, some of them are quite dangerous and they all have venomous bites or venomous injections, I guess is probably a better way to put it. And these guys also have venom, but they almost never hit people. They're pretty docile, so you don't have to be afraid of them if you see them in your house. They're not like some of the red centipedes you'll find under rocks that you probably don't want to handle.
Oh yeah. Anything that's buggy and red, just generally don't pick it up.
Yeah,
They're
just
telling you, "Hey man, I missed it."
but these guys are all right. And even if they could, it's kind of actually hard for them to pierce our skin. They have mouth parts, sort of these, not even mouth parts. They're modified forelegs called forciples.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm looking
You
now.
can kind of see them in the photo, I think. And again, we'll share these photos for socials.
Yeah, it's
Can you
kind of like
describe what you're seeing?
two little, not really crab claws because it's only the top layer of the crab claw. It almost looks like how a spider's fangs are. They're
Mhm.
fang-like, but they're not attached to its
Mouth.
mouth directly from what I can see. So I have to assume it's some sort of scoop mechanism, grab, pull into mouth. Hop, 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 hop.
Well, these modified forelegs have venom sacs attached to them, and they inject that way. They're not at all connected to the mouth parts. They're like a separate
Oh,
system, which is
they're off
pretty
to the
interesting.
side.
Yeah.
And they really remind me of like tarantula fangs. That's like black at the tip up to like a ambery brown. And then
Hmm.
that hooky shape that fangs have.
I
Fangs are
wish
cool. I wish
listeners
humans
could
had
see
fangs.
Amanda. Amanda has she has her thumbs on her cheeks and she's making little like
I'm like,
grabbies.
Zimmerman. But their face is almost cricket-like.
A little bit, yeah. Have you noticed the eyes?
They seem very high up on the head to me.
Yeah.
And then
So
they
they're
have that thing
actually
that I love when it's like a bunch of little eyes all
mm-hmm.
crammed together in
Do you know
bugs.
do you remember what we call that?
I could have until you asked me directly. Uh,
It's a gold star moment, Amanda. It's your time.
uh, uh,
What kind of eye do we call that?
I don't remember. It's like that thing where like the ghost of the word is in your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason you can't get your brain and your mouth to say the same thing. You're gonna say it. I'm gonna yell because I'm gonna know what this word is.
Yeah,
Okay, what is it?
compound eye. Amanda's yelling right now. Yes.
Yes, compound. It's so simple, right? I'm like
Uh,
searching my mind for all these buggy terms, but compound eye is so simple. It's so simple.
well, yeah, because when you said
The
that
eyes, they've
all the
been
little
compounded.
lenses together, yeah, and I'm like, yes. I'm gonna give you a silver star because you mostly
Thank
knew
you.
what that was.
I knew what the
You
mechanism
knew
was. I
it,
just didn't remember
yeah.
the name.
And that's interesting for centipedes because most centipedes don't have this kind of pretty good compound eye vision. They have more simple eyes, mostly to sense light and dark. But these guys can see. They have fairly good vision,
They're seeing
and
all right.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's neat. It's different. So they're out there hunting. Uh, we're in your basement. It's the middle
We
of the
usually
night.
associate good vision. Again, this might be a human thing though. Good vision with hunting.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
If you're prioritizing vision, it's because you're trying to track something down. And why you'll see like deers and cows don't have great vision, and also their vision is set up to be
the side.
more, yeah, the side of the animal, because that's where, like you said, they don't want to come at you from the front. They want to come at you from like the side.
Yeah, that's
So
why
if
they
I'm a
have good
cow,
peripheral vision.
I need to see what's going on the broad side of me.
Yeah, these guys are actively hunting. So if we set this up as a little thought experiment, you're in your basement. It's the evening. There are house centipedes down there, and they're hunting. So what are they doing? They're running along probably the corners along the wall in your basement. They're kind of like keeping a foot, kind of like roaches keeping a foot towards the edge. They can kind of feel where they are, and they're tracking anything they can catch. Cockroach nymphs, spiders, earwigs. Earwigs you'll find in the basement sometimes as well. And they chase them down. And remember, these guys are moving at a foot a second if they want to. So that's a nice burst of speed. And it's headed towards maybe a cricket or something, and it grabs it. Now, you'll see in the photos, when you're looking through these later, or during the show if you're not in your car right now, you can look at photos now. They have really long legs. House centipedes have long, thin, almost lasso-like whippy legs.
Very whippy legs.
Hmm.
That's a good way to describe it.
And they will grab. So they grab that cricket with their whippy little lasso legs and they pull it in, and they have so many front forelimbs. Imagine just being hugged by 10 centipede leggies, when you're running away. And then they'll take those modified, the forciples, those modified forelegs with injecting points, and envenomate their prey. That liquefies the inside of that cricket, and then they can slurp it out, much like, we've talked about quite a bit with spiders. They have little sucking mouths.
They do the piercy thing, and then they eat
Slurp,
your
slurp.
cricket soup.
Yes.
Oh, my oldest right now is obsessed with Charlotte's Web, just so you know.
Aw.
Loves the cartoon specifically with all the songs and whatever. And there's one part where Charlotte explains that spiders have to eat the way that they eat, and he's always like, "Spiders gotta eat. Spiders gotta
Oh,
eat."
good for him. He knows.
But what are you gonna do?
Spider's got a spider. Yeah.
Spider's got a spider. Yeah. So okay. So they do the infamous inject you. You start to dissolve on the inside
Mm-hmm.
because that's how it goes, and then they
Slurpy.
suck you out like a soup. Delicious. Do they eat the exoskeleton too, or does the exoskeleton just kind of hang out,
Husks up and
husks up and
discard.
blows away?
Yeah.
Makes sense. It'd be hard to crunch through. I mean, why invent this mechanism to
crunch.
soup your insides if you were just going to crunch anyway?
Well,
You'd just
other
crunch the whole time.
other things will come along. You leave. So this is the whole ecosystem in your basement now. Our house centipede leaves that cricket husk, walks away. In comes your terrestrial isopods, who are your cleanup crew. They'll eat that husk. Crickets might eat that husk. Other, bacteria and fungi will eventually take that down as well. Like there's a whole system that's happening even right in your basement. Like right now, probably, as you listen to this episode. It's just how it goes. Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but I don't remember where I heard this quote, but it was, no food ever goes bad. Something else just starts eating it first.
Yeah. Yeah, even if that something is
it's really
fungi and
changed my
bacteria.
perspective on like food waste. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point actually. Something else just started eating this before me.
We have so I make my lunches for the week on like Saturday or Sunday, so I don't have to deal with it. And I was cooking some turkey breast and green beans because I kind of just want Thanksgiving all the time, and it's my favorite.
You're not gonna be sick of it by the time actual
Nope.
Thanksgiving rolls around?
No,
You're
no
like,
way.
no, all the time, every day.
I start making it in October for my lunches, and then yeah. So I've got the string beans, where they have the little stringy end. I don't like that, so I always cut them off. And this you reminded me saying like something will always eat, the stuff.
Yeah.
So I took a bunch of these little string bean ends and I tossed them in with my dairy cow colony, my terrestrial isopods. And man,
Yes.
you would have thought I gave them the most incredible treat.
We have been blessed. The sky goddess blesses us.
She gives us the beans.
She gives us the beans.
I drop it in there, and no lie, 150 plus isopods all come out of hiding, and they're like running over each other. They're actually tripping over each other, which is really funny because they kind of roll around, all trying to get onto maybe 5 green bean ends.
Yeah.
So like something will always eat whatever is around, and these guys will definitely eat our leftover cricket husk or green bean ends. If you happen to have an isopod colony, give them some green bean ends. They are into it. At least dairy cows. Every species is a little different.
Beans that humans eat, especially anything with a pod that we're going to eat, that pod is so sweet. We've really made them sweet little beans here so that we can eat them because we crave sugar. We, like the hummingbird, want the sugar.
Yes. Well, I threw a sugar snap pea in there last week, and they ate a hole in the end of it, and then they started living in the snap pea. So I'd see them go
Living
in
their
and
little
then come back out.
Snap pea house is so sweet, so
It's very cute.
I love when in like cartoons and stuff, you have like little animals that use human things for other things. Like here it's got a comb and it's a ladder, or like a thimble and it's a bucket.
Like Busy Town?
Yes, like Busy Town. I love that. I think it's so funny and so cute. Rescuers Down Under, the Superior sequel. Yeah. They do that a lot. And I'm like, yes, this is funny every time.
Yeah, I watched two baby isopods crawl out of the snap pea pod like they were just taking a nap in there. It's very funny.
The little sweet pea, little sleeping bags. That's so funny.
Yeah. But oh man. So yeah, so your centipede is out there hunting, eating the stuff that you don't want in your basement. I know people are gonna get grossed out by this one. I know centipedes are a bit of a tough topic
Especially when they do have a venomous bite.
Yeah, and all
Even
those
though they're not,
legs.
all those legs. We don't like things with legs. Something about it freaks
More
out
legs, the worse for people. Yeah.
our like deep in brain is like, no, that's wrong. That is not how it's supposed to be. Like even octopus sometimes will like trigger that like too many legs thing for
Yeah,
another world
because they also
different from
like
me.
move independently, and that's a little unsettling, I think, for us. There's
Hmm.
lots of deep-seated sort of psychological reasons to not like stuff with all these legs. Like I think it
And they
should
always,
cause us fear because they could be dangerous. It's kind of the
when
point.
they have all these legs, it always like makes me wonder about how all these legs are controlled, especially in an animal that's so small. How much brain can it have? You know what I
Well,
mean?
remember that insects have ganglion clusters that run along their
Right.
bodies, right?
That's what I'm about to say, that they have like this decentralized nervous system that is why so different from ours. So we are basically a head attached to a body. As long as our head it can get the
We need the
things it
head.
needs, we
Yeah.
can go, right? That's where we've kept all of what makes us is in this dang old head of ours. But that is not true of so many of these bugs we've done on this podcast, that
Mhm.
they're spreading their brain out all over their gosh darn body because they have to, because they've got so many things going on.
There's just
They
too
have
much
so many
happening.
legs.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on to only be in one spot. They got to get around town. It's just wild to me. Again, back to this episode has accidentally become like, humans, stop thinking about things in human ways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the point of the pod too, is a lot of the messages stop looking at things like everything is like you.
Right.
Um,
Well, I mean, like inherent bias shows up all the time and stuff, and we've talked about it on this podcast before. In art history, it shows up. But I just recently learned of this thing where they're restudying how deer like groups work,
oh,
because they thought it was like the one deer was the leader, usually male, but there was like the one male deer is in charge, and when he goes they all go, or whatever. Think of like how the Bambi
yeah.
structure is, where like the prince of the forest looks over all of
Oh, the
them.
Prince of the Forest, so handsome.
Oh, the prince of the forest. And like all these scientists, male scientists, were like watching this and studying it, and that's what the evidence was showing them. Okay, this one goes and they all follow. That's the information they have. Well, they went back and did the study again with female scientists, and what they found was that actually what was happening is, when enough of the herd was all looking in one direction, like, I think we should head that way,
Oh, it's
the
more, huh?
the tally counter, the one that they thought was the leader, was actually like taking stock of what everyone wants to do next, and then leading the way. Okay, enough people have enough deers have voted that
Dear
we should head
people, it's
towards
fine.
deer people, deeple as it were. Enough of the herd believes that we should go to the river or whatever. So I'm gonna start headed that way so that we can all move as a group.
That's great.
Because
Yeah, so it's a little more
and
democratic.
right, and so it's the science from before wasn't bad science. They were doing, they were seeing a thing that when this deer leaves, the others follow. But because they were thinking of it in human terms, especially male human terms, of, oh, this one must be the leader.
Yes,
This one
we're
must be
looking to the
the
older male to tell us what to
we're
do.
right. We're
Sure.
looking at the alpha deer, when actually what was going on is that it was a collaborative effort of all these deer saying we should go there next, and one deer being like, okay, I've taken the vote, let's go do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and and when you decentralize and you can't help that. You can't always help what your
humans. Yeah.
your bias is. We're humans, we think of things in human terms. We complain about the Victorians a lot because of all the shoddy science that they did.
Oh, the
They
Victorian.
were trying to do science, at least. At least they were trying to do science. I gotta give them what we can for, like, you were trying to do a thing, but you were putting it into the box of your understanding rather than expanding your understanding to include this new behavior. But they didn't even notice the behavior because they were still stuck in their box. And like, so much of life is getting yourself out of that box and being like, what am I not seeing because I'm only seeing things through my box? Sorry, I went on a little bit of a, speaking of boxes, I went on a soapbox there. But
no, it makes sense. But yeah, that's the problem.
and we humans are scared of house centipedes because they're not in our box, and we're like,
Yeah.
the box.
But we don't have to be scared of them. Like I said, they're pretty harmless. They do live a long time, so they don't reach, so which means they'll be in your basement for a very long time if nothing eats them. They don't reach sexual maturity until 3 years.
Whoa,
Yeah, they're
that's a long
very
time
slow.
for a bug. A lot of times we're like, okay, it's a caterpillar for 3 weeks, then it's a pupa for a week, and then it's an adult for until it
Yep, yeah.
starves to death. You know, and like that's a lot of times the story we get here. 3 years is a long time to be a buggy bug.
Well, they can live up to 7 years.
So they can be an adult for 4 years.
Yeah.
Doing their adult buggy things, and I assume that they're one of the bugs that just kind of like eggs and leaves. So they're like, good luck, eggs. See ya.
Well, so we had like a couple listeners. So listener questions. Thanks, guys, for writing in. We had, let's see, Boop Spook Throwaway from Reddit had asked about, great username, by the way. They said, oh my God, I always love seeing these little guys around my house. I know they're on the hunt for little bugs. Do you know how long they live? So yeah, like I said, they can live up to 7 years, which is pretty wild.
Do they keep it all? Like, could you keep one as a pet? Because that's been our big complaint about bug pets, is that they don't last very long.
You could
But if
keep one
they're a
as a pet.
runner,
You could probably keep one as a pet. Yeah, you'd have to have the right conditions.
yeah, you'd have to have a pretty big terrarium, I think, because if they're
Somewhere
used
for them to hide, it needs to be.
yeah,
You have to keep humidity fairly high so they stay kind of damp and.
and then I don't know if you could keep multiple, because I don't know if they like fight the way that you can't keep multiple spiders in one spot.
They might. Yeah, they might. But we had like a similar question, so getting along the lines of like living. So local bug dude from Instagram asked, why do they live so long? Which is a great question. So I think you had mentioned earlier, Amanda, that yeah, a lot of the time we see bugs with really long juvenile stages and then short adult lives, like butterflies or cicadas or things like that. Now, these guys have a very long larval, not larval, nymphal. So they have incomplete metamorphosis. So they're egg nymph adults. They don't pupate. And they like go through this nymphal juvenile stage for about 3 years. And that's partially because they have a pretty slow metabolic rate.
They can eat something and it lasts them a long time.
Kind of a long time. They have a slow developmental cycle, so this very slow becoming like between molts, and you're slowly getting all those legs. It takes a long time to get there. You're not expending a lot of energy in the process. You're just kind of like getting through it. They can chase, but they're generally sit and wait predators, so they're not burning energy there. So we're talking a lot of energy efficiency and low metabolic rate, and all that has been linked to having a much longer lifespan. At least in insects, I'm not telling everyone, don't like sit on your couch and barely move and think you're going to live an extra 10 years. It's not.
No, we're coursing predators. We have to move around.
We have fairly high metabolic rates. We're never gonna be the house centipede. And with all those molts, right, you're replacing lost limbs. Remember, arthropods that molt, as long as they haven't reached that final adult stage, they can regrow lost limbs and other damaged parts of the body. So all of that kind of leads into this pretty long life for a bug. I mean, 7 years is impressive. It's really, really impressive.
When you're so small. What's that thing about like 1,000,000 heartbeats? Mammals get a million heartbeats and then they're pretty much old now.
I don't know. I think all of our heart rates might be slightly different. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But it's like a rabbit has a really fast heart rate, and so it dies quickly because it uses up its 1,000,000 heartbeats really fast. I don't think that's true. I'm just saying that's what they say.
Yeah, it's just like a cute thing people saying.
Yeah.
It was really nice this episode. We asked for listener questions, and when we're good at knowing what bug we're going to cover in the future, we can ask for more questions. So while you're doodling, Amanda, I'll just go through some of these.
Yes, please do.
So Barred Owl 123 from Reddit asks, can they bite? And if they do they bite often? And I think we covered this earlier in the show. They can, sure. They've got those little stabums.
That's the rules.
I guess it's technically not being bitten if you're being injected with a forelimb, but apples, oranges, right? It's potatoes, potatoes.
My experience is the same either way.
It's gonna feel like a bite, yeah. But they don't. You have to really like manhandle them. And if they do bite you, it's like a bee sting at worst. I suppose you could be allergic to their venom, as folks can kind of feels like they can be allergic to just about anything. So, but it's not something I would worry about. If you do find a house centipede in your basement or your bathroom and you want to move it, you could probably scoop it up and it's not going to bother you. Just don't squish, just be gentle. Be very gentle. They also ask, are they poisonous if cats ingest them? And that's a good question. I know we worry. I know Derek doesn't mind if his cats go after the bugs that live in his house, which is totally reasonable. My cats also go after what lives here. If I don't catch it in time, it happens. And house centipedes, if they eat them, no, they're fine. Your cat can eat the house centipede. I guess there's a chance it could bite your cat because then the cat is certainly manhandling the centipede, but it's not dangerous. It's not gonna, it's gonna hurt, and that's about it. You might see some redness and swelling at the bite site. They also ask, what do they eat, which we talked about before.
Other bugs. A cricket feels like big, though. A cricket feels like it's comparable in size. Like, how big of a prey item are they going after? Are they going after aphids, or are they going after similarly sized dudes?
I think that takes us to listener Joanna's question, which is, how big does the centipede get itself? Yes. And it's about close to 1.5 inches, so 35 millimeters. It's pretty big, right? They could take.
Like I said, they're like I could see why they went with eyebrow instead of eyelashes when you think about it being this long. This is eyebrow sized for sure.
Yeah.
Eyebrows on the loose.
So yeah, they're pretty big, and they can take. And remember, when you're envenomating something and you're just trying to liquefy its insides, you probably don't have to worry too much about how big it is. If you could just lock it down.
That's true.
Long enough.
Just think about it, an assassin's needle only needs a little bit of poison inside. And they inject you in the neck and then liquefy. And then you die under mysterious circumstances. This week's episode of Survivor. Sorry to bring in my Survivor. I love Survivor. A guy got bit by a sea crate, which is a venomous snake.
Sea snake. Those are really dangerous.
They're like 10 times as venomous as a rattlesnake. And the guy got pulled from the game, obviously.
Is he okay? What happened?
He's fine, because it was a dry bite. The snake was kind of like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I guess Jeff was going on and on about, like, they've been filming in Fiji for 10 years, and they've never even known someone who's heard of someone who got bit by a sea crate. Like, that's how rare the bites are. Yeah. More or less because this, like you said, making venom is, like, incredibly calorically taxing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I've talked about that in the spider episode, that many spiders will give you a dry bite first. Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, if you're going to spend your venom, you need to make sure you're going to eat something to replace that venom that you just spent getting a meal. So it makes sense that they would dry bite this guy. But he was so panicked about being bitten by the snake that they pulled him from the game, because they're like, you haven't eaten in a week. Oh, no. And you just had, like, a pretty serious, like, panic episode. Understandably, no one's here judging him being like, this loser had a panic because he got bit by an incredibly venomous snake. What a weakling. Like, no one was saying that. Everyone was like, look, bro.
But for your mental health, you should probably take a break.
Like, you just thought you were going to die. And to be fair, everyone in this room thought you might be about to die. So, like, we get it. Like, the medical boat comes up to they take him to HQ or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the doctor they keep on site for Survivor is yelling to the boat, is he breathing? Is he breathing? And I'm like, if I'm laying in the boat, because I just got bit by a snake, and I hear the doctor yelling, like, in a low-key panic himself, is he breathing? I'm
immediately.
This is it. This is it for me. You know?
That's horrifying.
Because it's one of those neurotoxins that, like, immediately shuts down your... yeah. Not good. But like I said, it was a dry bite, and he was fine. And he actually made it home to witness the birth of his first child, because he wasn't on Survivor anymore. Because that was good. That was his big, they always have, like, a selling point on Survivor, and his was like, I'm missing the birth of my child to be here. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But once he got eliminated from the game, I'm sure Survivor was like, do you want to go home and see your baby get born? And he was like, yes, send me home. If I'm not going to win the $1 million, take me out of here.
Yeah, there's no reason to play anymore. I mean, you could get a dry bite from a house centipede. It could happen, I suppose. We have a few other questions from Penny Rain Goose from Reddit. My family and I call these ones fast eyebrows. This is our eyebrow.
Yeah.
I've heard they can bite, but it's unusual. And then some people can have mosquito bite-like reactions. Is that true? And again, yeah, they could bite, and you could have an allergic reaction, but again, that's pretty rare. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. And they also ask, what is their reproduction cycle like? Sometimes I see tiny ones, but I know nothing about their eggs. Right, so they don't, like I mentioned before, they don't have complete metamorphosis. They go egg, nymph, adult. They also don't hatch with all their legs, so they start with the 4 pairs and then gain more with each molt. Eggs are laid either in soil, so they originally come from the Mediterranean. They're outside bugs originally, living under
Outside bugs.
the usual, like, stone in soil under logs.
It's like that classic question: where did parking lot birds live before there were parking lots?
Same thing.
Where
did the house centipede live? Well, he lived outside, like all the other.
Where did the barn owl
centipedes.
roost before there was barns?
And yeah, so the eggs are laid in the soil or tucked somewhere safe. They could be tucked like around your baseboard in your home, just somewhere a little confined. And they do have courtship. So a male, I know, I love a bug.
I love when they date. I love when they date each other. It's so cute.
The male will go by and just start gently tapping females. He just takes his little front forelimbs and tap, tap,
Pardon?
tap.
Interested? No? Okay.
Excuse me?
Pardon? Interested?
And he keeps doing that till one female goes, wee wee.
Yeah.
And then they're ready to go. And there is no copulation. They don't mate. He makes a sperm packet or spermatophore. He wraps it up in silk. He puts it down in...
I interest you?
Yes.
Oh.
Madame.
Oui, I will take this.
And then he puts it on the ground, and then she picks it up and she uses it, and that's the extent of the courtship. But I do love just gentle pokes until someone goes, yes, we can do this.
I am in the market for one of those, actually.
In your sperm pack, sure, why not? Oh, local bug dude from Instagram also asks, why on earth are they so cute?
They do kind of have a sweet little face, if I'm honest.
They have nice little faces, guys. You're gonna, again, we'll put this in socials, but...
Again, very cricket-like, I feel like. The structure, the setup, the schema, as it were, very
It's because they've got those big compound eyes. They actually look like something with little cartoon round eyeballs. And that's probably why they're
eyeballs
cute.
Bigger in my drawing here, even bigger eyes.
Yeah, I think I answered. I have like notes for all the questions to make sure I'm answering okay, and I wrote they really are pretty cute, and I think it's the eyes and the light color. They've got that nice light coloring. I know dirty yellow was mentioned before.
Dirty yellow.
I don't think it looks that dirty.
Like, imagine this same bug like in black, but all of its legs are red. That's a scary animal. That's a little bit more like, whoa, what's that guy doing?
This guy's like light, kind of ethereal looking. He's got long, lashy-like legs. I think they're not an intimidating looking centipede. When you think of a centipede, you're not thinking of this guy. Up close,
though. But there's that first moment, though, when you see them. Yeah. And they're an eyebrow on the ground, and you're like, what's that eyebrow doing there? Yikes! Again, I think just there's something in our deep lizard brain that's like, enemy. And I think it comes down to, might be venomous.
Yeah.
Might get me.
And that's okay. We're okay to be scared of that. It's built in for our protection so that we don't touch something that might hurt us. Whether that be a snake or a spider or a centipede. Like, we're all kind of built in to have a little bit of discomfort around that. And our final question, our final listener question also comes from local bug dude on Instagram. How do they drink? And this is a great question. Generally, house centipedes will absorb water from their environment or get the fluids they need from eating, but they can also drink directly. There are videos of them leaning down and drinking from like droplets of water, which is kind of cute. They can drink from sponges. If you moisten the end of a cotton swab, they'll drink from that. They just use their little mouths and they and they go for it. I think I've talked about this when I worked on my master's degree. I had wolf spiders that would lean down and just drink from the lip of a tiny little cup. So yeah, bugs drink, just like we do. So far, Amanda, how are you feeling about House Centipede?
I'm liking them. I think they're, again, I think when you first see them, I think they're a little bit scary. So to hear that they're just like a little friend, just like hanging out in your
Mhm.
eating probably the things you don't want in your house otherwise anyway. I think that's kind of sweet, actually. I think they're kind of sweet little dudes.
I think they're kind of cute. They've got a job, an indoor job for us, and
I love a dog with a job.
yeah. Mm. Oh, a big thank you to the listeners for sending in these questions. They sent them in on Reddit, and Instagram, and I think maybe an email or something. So feel free to always send questions. I will put out a call when for the next, the next round of whatever we cover. It's good
If
to
you
know
have a
what you
question about
guys
a
want to know.
previous episode that you're like, hey, I listened to this episode and I realized you never
Hmm.
answered this question, feel free to write that in too. And once we have enough, we'll probably do hey,
Yeah.
we want to revisit some of these bugs we talked about before and clear some things up episode
Yeah,
eventually.
we could do like a full listener questions about old episodes. If you guys want, let us know. Send in your questions on old bugs. So thinking about superpowers now, Amanda, because this is a superhero show. First, are we talking hero or villain?
I mean, hero,
Hmm.
but I'm thinking maybe like he's fresh on the scene. He's. I mean, we have a long-lived one, so I feel like it needs to be one of those generational ones where it's like you get passed down your name for you're like the 17th blue beetle that's existed, whatever it is. So I kind of went with like he's still an apprentice level I went with
Hero.
speedster.
Definitely
Speedster is
Speedster,
a
yeah.
yeah, is the kind of the vibe I'm going for here. Oh, I just really tried to draw and talk at the same time and it didn't work. So I've gone a little bit conceptual with how to show the powers. I'm hoping that you'll catch what I'm throwing down.
Sure. Can I go
Uh
through a list of some of the powers I think
yes,
are
definitely.
appropriate? So definitely speed. So we talked about that 1 foot or zero point 0.3 meters a second. Grasping feeties. So this guy's gonna have some strength behind those legs. Able to run on many surfaces, including walls and floors and ceilings. If there's texture, this guy can climb it. So he's a little Spider-Man-y, I guess, in that sense. Night vision, of course. These are nocturnal hunters and very sensitive to movement. They've got good eyesight. Of course, venom. I also made a superpower called Tight Fit. They have very flattened bodies and can squeeze into small spaces. And fear. So even though they're very docile and pretty useful for us as a pest hunter, people are still kind of scared of them. So he may have like an overall kind of, uncomfortableness about him, shall we say, even though he's a good guy. What do you think for powers?
So yes, so I've given him. I'll send you just a. I'm just adding some last minute like
Hmm.
differentiations of where things begin and things end. Actually, we're gonna do finger gloves. That's always a little bit spooky, I think, when your fingers are different color than the rest of your hand. For some reason, that does something spooky to us.
Will they be dirty yellow in color?
Dirty yellow fingers as Cheeto dust fingers. What was his name? Scooty?
Scooty, yeah, his name is Scooty. Scooty the hero. We should start
Like,
naming all of our heroes, I guess. We haven't. But he's
we
definitely
don't
Scooty.
always. But there's like a clear one. Like we named the bumblebee Dusty. We're like, this is Dusty now.
Oh,
Uh,
Dusty is the best. Dusty's on our business cards, our old business cards.
yeah. And then I don't know. I'll have to think of how to segment him more than what I've done here. But for now, this will work. I'm gonna get one of these. No, that looks like a ballet slipper. Never mind. Okay, there we go. I want it to be more sneakerish.
How many
So I'm just
legs would you give
uh,
out of 30? Out of
out of
30
30
legs.
legs. I feel like he's a harmless dude, but he has some cool powers. Like anytime there's Venom involved, I'm like prone to giving a higher score because I think Venom's really cool. Again, in my like human centric opinion, I wish I had Venom. That'd be cool to be able to be like, mess with me, whatcha? You know, I'd give it I'd give it 28 out of 30 legs. Missing points for not having a cool design on it. Like it needs like some sort of flash, like stripes. Like this, I guess it did have stripy legs, didn't
It's
it?
got stripes. It's got kind of gray stripes along
You're
the body
right.
plan too. They're a little stripy. I guess
Then
so 28
up
out
to
of 30
30.
would be 5 out of 6 legs, I guess, if we're giving
5
it
out of 6 legs.
a
Yeah,
regular
I
score.
think I think it's cool, but I think it's a little bit domestic, if that makes sense.
Well, it kind of is.
The house. The house.
I think I would
Okay.
also give it maybe 5 out of 6 or 20 out of 30 because I like them. I like the way they look. I like their like long, lashy legs. I like their cute little eyes, their little the little like faces. I'm all right with them. They don't bother me. I don't have any in my house currently. Maybe if I did, I'd be less happy about it, but let me check out the art here.
Okay, so I put Scooty in. So I went with this idea that he moves so fast that it looks like he has a bunch of legs.
Oh, I like that. That's fun.
Well, like when he's standing still, he's still human shaped. But once he starts like moving,
Oh,
he
that's
moves so fast that
I
people are like,
like
how many
that.
legs does that guy have?
Yeah, that's really fun. That's really, really fun. Maybe even draw like a couple more like ghosty legs in there
Yeah, I'll
to
add some extra.
sell at home, but
I
perfect.
just want to get like the basic concept for you so that you understood what was happening.
And also
And
it just says Scooty, which is great.
sorry, I wrote that down first. Like, I don't want to forget that his name's Scooty. And then I put his like what did you call them? They're like not legs and they're not fangs.
Oh, the forciples.
Forciples.
Yeah, it's quite the name.
I put them on the shoulders
I like
because
that.
they weren't directly related to his mouth, so I didn't want to make him like have, that mandible thing that so many bugs
like that
have. Is that like chow chow?
You're keeping it anatomically correct, Amanda. It's good. I like it.
I give him like really big hands to show that he'll grab you.
Yeah, he's got long fingers, which
Yeah,
makes
really
sense.
long fingers.
And some
And
long
then long antenna. And then those goggles, both to keep the wind out of his eyes because he's moving so fast, and to give him kind of a cute little face, I
those
think.
cute little compound eyes.
Which I think I need to add some shine to it to make him extra cute. Oh no, maybe now he's too cute. Maybe now he's too sweet.
We want him to be sweet. We want people to look at this hero and like the house centipede. Be comfortable.
I'm trying to think how I could add some like eyebrows to him, or maybe he needs some sort of hairy element because he looks so hairy with all of his legs.
How would you just add floating
I don't know
eyebrows
where. I don't know.
above
Yeah, exactly. He's just got like those kind of cartoon eyebrows that like are never really attached to you. Just what's his name? Not Eugene Levy. What's his son? Dan?
Oh, Dan Levy? Dan. He's great.
To me.
He's very funny.
I'm gonna give him some floating eyebrows right now.
Some floating brows. Yeah, I think these guys
David.
are cool, and I'm really glad that Laura wrote in and suggested them because it's worth it to try to sort of dispel the myth and the fear a little bit about guys you're gonna find kind of a lot in your living space, whether it be home or at the office or wherever. You might find these in the kitchen sometimes too, so be on the lookout. As always, send us photos. If you have house centipedes in your house, put them in our subreddit. We would love to look at all the photos of your little critters. Or tag us on Instagram. If you share them on your feed, we would love that. Show me
a couple monarchs in the Reddit that was really sweet because I feel like I see monarchs all the time, but it's one of those things where like my brain has categorized it as a monarch, and I never really like stop and look at one.
I have not seen many monarchs at all this year, like at all. So when I do see one, I feel like, oh, that's good. There's one. There's one or two. Their populations are in the decline right now, and we are likely to lose both our eastern and western populations. I think probably I've said this before by, I think, what is it, like 2070, 2080? I think 2080 is the prediction. There's
Yeah,
like
I
a
wanted to say it was
75 to a 90% chance. That's pretty
I
horrifying.
think the article I saw was like, we've only got 50 years of butterflies left, so.
Well, it's monarchs specifically that are...
Yeah.
Yeah. So plant your milkweed, folks. Plant your milkweed. Give them some place to hang out. Make their babies stop on their big trips.
And as always, leave the leaves. We're entering the time of year where you must leave the leaves. I was doing my gardening and I was like, I gotta leave these piles of leaves.
Yes,
how do I get these blackberry bushes out of here and leave the leaves?
Leave them alone. Plant native plants. Do what you can in your own little backyard. Every little bit helps.
I was cutting down all the rose bushes going, okay, I need to cut down this rose bush without disturbing the leaves.
I love that you've become a whole new person, Amanda, with the podcast.
I was always a leave the leaves person because I think I must have got that at the right time. Someone must have said that to me at 12 and been like, you gotta leave the leaves so the caterpillars have somewhere to go. And I was like, you're so right. But also, who wants to rake leaves? That sucks. Also, around here, it just becomes like a leaf lasagna of like wet leaves. And then today's wet leaves on top of yesterday's wet leaves, which are, of course, on top of the day before that's wet leaves. Also, oh my gosh, I just was reminded now. People rake their leaves into big piles and put them on the street so that the street sweeper will come and get them, I guess. I don't know. But when I was learning to drive, so I'm 15, and I made some joke, I think, about like driving through the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And how it'd be really satisfying if they were all really crunchy. And my dad was like, don't drive through the leaves. There might be a dead body in there. I was like, excuse me?
What a dad tale to me to tell.
Was there a story behind that you needed to tell me? That one time, nope. I found all these bodies in the leaves. But like, so many other things made more sense. Like there might be a traffic cone that someone left in there. There might be big rocks. There might be sticks. Branches of trees. Yeah. So many things that you don't want to run over. But my dad went straight for the Halloween answer. Yeah. The stand by me answer of like, well, there might be.
Your dad is quite the fella. Yeah. Every story I hear, I'm like, yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's a character, that's for sure. And if you want to share about what your opinions on our characters, our heroes that need bugs, feel free to join us on the Reddit. Send us emails, Instagram us, blue sky us, smoke signals, telepathic thoughts, however you want to get in contact with us. We'll put out a call for questions about the next bug as soon as we've settled on that next bug. And until then, love you, bye. Bugs Need Heroes was created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad, with some assistance from Chelsea Bodden and a few cats. Character art is by Amanda Niday. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Roll Music. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out at bugsneedheroes.com, and most of the socials are under Bugs Need Heroes. Thanks for stopping by.
Do you know that Penn State article you referenced? Do you know who edited it?
No.
Friend of the show, Michael Scavarla.
Oh, really? Okay. Nice. We have him to blame for calling them dirty yellow.
Okay.